Evening guys, this is a brief introduction about my Outwit application. So what the Outwit application does is it enables the BeagleBone to send notifications to your Android phone, and the Android phone can control the BeagleBone too, like switching on LEDs, turning on peripherals, etc. So this is a simple framework and you guys can build on it. So the system level diagram, let's go into it. So what I have done is I have written a security system using Outwit. So I have connected a passive infrared sensor to my BeagleBone. The infrared sensor is connected to my GPIO pin number 25 and it triggers the moment any motion is detected. The sensor then interacts with the BeagleBone and sends an intimation to the Android phone through my Java server. So I'm going to go in detail on how to set up your Java server, how to configure your BeagleBone, as well as use the Outwit application. This is simply a brief introduction to this as to how my application is configured. So simply a basic architectural overview. So anyway, let's look at the system level diagram. So the motion sensor sends a signal to the BeagleBone. The BeagleBone then sends a post request to my Java server. The Java server then contacts my Google Cloud messaging services, and then it comes and pushes the notification onto my Android phone. So that's how the BeagleBone contacts the Android phone. And for the Android phone to contact the BeagleBone, I've run an Apache 2 server on the BeagleBone, and if it has a public IP address and you've port forwarded the you've port forwarded the correct port, then the BeagleBone should be accessible from the cloud. So that's how the Android phone contacts the BeagleBone. So the hardware is basically, of course, the BeagleBone. I'm using revision A4 and I've used a BS006 PIR module. You can use Napion's, a Panasonic Napion, that's also a pretty good PIR sensor. Of course, a PC, a couple of USB cables, and PIR connectors, so that you should be able to connect the PIR to the BeagleBone's GPIO. So the software consists of the Outwit application, which will be running on your Android phone, the C software, which is running on your BeagleBone, and the Java server. The servlet, basically the .war file, which I will be providing you with, which should be run on Tomcat, that is your desktop computer, with a servlet container. So a couple of challenges which you may face while getting this application up and running is Windows 7 does not recognize drivers which are not signed. So the BeagleBone's drivers are not signed. So sometimes they don't work on Windows 7. So what I did was to install VMware and then boot from my ISO. That was by far the easiest solution which I found, since I already had a Windows XP ISO image. And on my particular BeagleBone, that's revision A4, the register R219 had a bug and I had to reboot the system in order to get my BeagleBone and IP address assigned to it by the DHCP. If you're using a different revision, then I guess you don't need to worry about it. So setting up the system, you need to install the Java servlet container on your local desktop computer, and you need to install the Outwit application on your Android phone, configure the Tomcat to run the .war file which I will be providing you with, and set the IP addresses of each of the devices that you will be using. So yep, that's about it. That's a brief overview. Please do comment, and any doubts, please do feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching. Evening guys, today I'll be teaching you how exactly you have to configure Apache Tomcat on your local computer, as well as tweak the GCM demo server directory which you will be downloading, so that you can communicate successfully with your BeagleBone from your Android phone. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing to do would be download Apache Tomcat, of course. So let's just Google Apache Tomcat and go to the first link and download it. I downloaded the 64-bit Windows Service Installer. You should probably install whichever one is appropriate for you. And once you've once you've downloaded it, just run the setup through. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go through that. The only tricky part is Tomcat requires administrator permission, so you've got to run it as administrator. So I'm going to right click on monitor Tomcat and say run as administrator. Click yes to the user access control dialog, and yeah, I have the green icon here. Sometimes you may not have the green icon, just right click on that and say start service and you will get the green icon. So once you have that up and running, we have to find the IP address of our machine. So open up command prompt. If you don't know how to, simply hit window key and R and you'll get the run dialog and say CMD. You should come up with cmd.exe. Anyway, so once you've opened up a command prompt, let's just hit ipconfig. Oops. And my IP address is 192.168.1.103. So Apache Tomcat always runs on port 8080, so I've got to put space 8080 here, and yeah, so my default index.html pops up, so my Apache Tomcat is good to go. The next thing would be to download the GCM demo server directory, so please do scroll down, download it, pause the video, and then come back. Okay guys, hope you've downloaded the GCM demo server directory. So once you've done that, the first thing to do would be to go to Google APIs. So go to Google APIs. You need a Gmail account for accessing your Google APIs. If you don't have, just create one. So once you've done that, you can just sign in with your email ID and password and enable Google Cloud Messaging. You can, if you are unable to find out where that is, you can simply Google around for it. It's pretty simple, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, I'm not going to go through it. Once you enable it, you will get an API key. So the API key is the one which you have to use in your GCM demo server. So copy the API key in, and then go to the place where you downloaded my GCM demo server. So in my case, I downloaded it to BeagleBone and GCM demo server. So that's the thing. So the first thing you've got to do is go to web content, webinf, classes, and edit the API key. Open it with your default text editor and just paste the API key you got in. And after that, open up a command prompt. You've got to have ant installed, right? And you can just Google how to install ant. It's not that hard. Once you have ant installed, go to your directory where you downloaded GCM demo server and simply say a dir. You should have something called a build.xml right there. So then just say ant space war. So this will build the war file for you. A war file is similar to a jar file, so there's not much of a difference. And go to dist, and yeah, you have your war file there. Just copy this and go to your Apache Tomcat folder. I installed Tomcat at the Tomcat and yep, and web apps. So I've already pasted the GCM tac demo.war in, and once you paste it in, after 5 seconds or so, it will generate a directory by its own. So just paste it in and wait for it to generate its own directory. So once it's generated its own directory, you go to 192.168.1.0.3/8080/GCM tac demo and hit enter. It's absolutely fine if you say no device is registered. I've already registered it. I simply don't want to wipe my cache clean and start all over again. So I mean, delete all the delete the GCM demo.war and compile it again. So that's why it says one device registered. Otherwise it should be absolutely fine. No devices registered means you're good to go. So please do watch my next video on how to set up your BeagleBone, and as well as my video on how to use the Outwit application to have a complete understanding on how exactly you will be able to control the BeagleBone from your Android phone. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do comment. Thanks. Evening guys, this is a brief tutorial explaining how you have to set up your BeagleBone so that you can control it from your Android phone. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing to do would be to install Apache on your BeagleBone. So if you don't have Apache yet, you can install it by saying sudo apt-get install in Apache 2, and that should do it. I'm not going to do it because I already have the newest version. So once that's done, enter into your super user mode and navigate to /etc/sudoers.d directory, and then I already have something called test. If I cat the test directory, you can observe that I have added permission for www.tacdata to access a Perl script called write.pl. I will be attaching all the scripts that you need in the video description, so don't worry, but just follow these instructions before you run the program. So if you observe, I've added the permission. If you don't know how to, just go sudo and bi sudo and then tac f space the name of your file, so it can be test1. So if you say that, then it'll open up the vi sudo directory where you can enter the command which I just showed you. So I'm not going to do that. and exit out of super user mode and clear my file. Okay, so once that's done, your Apache can run the Perl script as a super user. So there is no permission issues there, because if you don't add that, then the program's not going to work correctly. So if you have the Apache set up and you have added the permissions, then I suggest you install the distributables, which I have added to which I've added the link in the description, and also the Perl scripts, which will enable you to control your BeagleBone LEDs using your Android phone. So once you've done that, all you've got to do is cd into the distributable directory. Mine is located as /home/ubuntu, and let's see. Yep, distributables. Let me just see that. Okay, so your distributable is not going to look like this. What it's going to look like is this. Yep, you're going to have only 3 files in that. So just run the make file. It'll build the executables for you. Yep. So once that's done, the distributables directory basically holds all the program data for streaming, for video streaming, as well as for controlling and reading GPIO pins. So what this is going to do is, if you have a peripheral attached, you can invoke the program using /bone space the pin number to which you have your peripheral attached. I have it attached to my GPIO pin 117, and the IP address of your Java server. So it sends a post request to that server basically. So you can invoke it that way. Right now I don't have any camera attached, neither do I have any peripherals, so it's going to throw an error. But if you have the right peripherals and the camera attached, then it's not going to throw any error. It's going to work absolutely fine. So this part is for streaming the video from your BeagleBone and viewing it on your Android phone. And there is one other dependency that you need to have. You need to have libcurl installed if you need this program to work correctly. So just go sudo apt-get space libcurl. Yep, that's the command. Mine is install. I forgot to install. Yeah, mine's already the newest version, so it's not going to do anything. But if you don't have it, it will install it. And you need to install something called MJPG Streamer. I've attached the link in my video description, and it's pretty easy how you go about installing it. So just install MJPG Streamer as it's given in the link, and you should be good to go. The MJPEG streamer is basically the one which helps you stream video from your BeagleBone. So if you've installed that, then you're good to go. Also, I've added a couple of useful links which you may want to use in case you're using MJPEG streamer. Okay, so once that is done, you have to download the Perl scripts so that you can control the BeagleBone LEDs from our Android phone. So simply navigate to CD, and you can observe that I have something called control here. Yep, so there is something called control pin, and I have a hello.pl and a write.pl. So you guys can just install it, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to go through that. Perl is an interpreted thing, so you don't even have to compile it. So just put it into your cd /var/www/control, and you're good to go. So let me just clear up the screen. And there is one other thing. In case for the distributable for your Android BeagleBone streaming, the distributable is located for me at distributable. Turn the caps lock on. Okay, yeah. So this is where my distributable is located. So if I run bone as 117 space IP, you'll observe that my default video in is /dev/video0. I've hard-coded this value since this is generally where the camera is mounted, but in case your camera is mounted somewhere else, then you can simply VI into that HTTP VI into the read GPIO in data. That's the file, and change your slash dev slash video whatever, and then just make the file again. So then that should do the trick. And please do remember that I've hard coded the path of MJPEG streamer in your read GPIO in data. So if you install MJPEG streamer to another directory, I suggest you go into the read GPIO in data again, using VI or whatever text editor you like, and change the path so that it works correctly. So yep, that's about it. So now if you have the Bone program running on your BeagleBone, you can actually access the BeagleBone from your phone, as well as control or as well as send notifications to the phone from your BeagleBone. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please do comment. Evening guys. Today I'll be teaching you how to configure the Outwit application on your Android phone. First thing to do, let's open it up. And you've got to set two things before you can do anything. That's the Java IP and the Bone IP. The Java IP is the IP address of your Java server which is running the servlet, and the Bone IP is of course of your BeagleBone. If you're unsure of what exactly these mean, then I suggest you go to the link which I have posted below. So once you've set those IPs, which I already have, we can go about using the app. So I'll click on the remote button which is on my custom header. That will open up my BeagleBone control. This app actually provides a two-way communication channel between your Android phone and the BeagleBone. So the Android phone can contact the BeagleBone, and the BeagleBone can contact the Android phone too. So this is a simple demo. I've provided only Bone LED control. External peripheral control support is not here just yet, and you can switch it on or off. The on option turns it on for 5 seconds and then back off. You can set your pin number. There are 4 LEDs on the BeagleBone. So, and the first one is actually pin number 0. So I'll set my pin number 0. That's the first LED, and hit submit. Yep, my LED is glowing on the BeagleBone for 5 seconds. It should go off right now. Yes, it did. So that's the first part of the app. The second interesting part is will control the Android phone, or not, rather send notifications to the Android phone. So for that, I've enabled an app, and I will press a button here which is connected to my GPIO pin number 25, and if you observe, a notification was sent to our Android phone. This app initially was built as a security system application which could interface with the BeagleBone, so that's why all this was incorporated into it. But this is pretty powerful, and you could do a lot of things. The creativity is the limit. Simple brief explanation of some of the other features. The records allows you to view the recorded videos and images on your BeagleBone. The images are displayed using a lazy list implemented using the universal image loader actually. Yeah, and you can see all these. My camera was actually pretty stationary at the time that it started recording, so that's why you see there's no gross difference between these pictures. But anyway, and videos is the same except for videos obviously. And the video tab here enables you to view a live stream from your BeagleBone, but the internet will not work. You've got to open it up using either Firefox or Opera Mobile. Only then will it work. So yeah, that's about it. It's a general brief introduction to this app. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do comment, and any suggestions, do write to me. Thanks for watching.
Evening guys, this is a brief tutorial explaining how you've got to set up your BeagleBone so that it can act as a home security system. So right here I have a passive infrared sensor. It costs about $4. The passive infrared sensor has 3 pins which come out. The first one is of course a VDD 5V which I have connected to pin number 5 on my BeagleBone. The other one is a digital out which gives you a 3.3 voltage out, and that is triggered anytime motion is detected by the PIR. And of course the last one is ground, which is connected to pin 43 on my BeagleBone. You can connect it to either pin 43, 44, 45 or 46. All of them are grounds in the BeagleBone, and all this is done in the P9 expansion header. This right here is a D-Link DWA123 wireless adapter. This is I bought this so that my BeagleBone can be a little more portable and it's easier to control, so I can access it through SSH. The other one here is my relay. I've connected the relay to pin number 23 on my BeagleBone. Of course the other part of my relay is connected to ground, that is either pin 44 I guess, and the relay in turn drives my CFL. So my CFL is right here and it drives my CFL. So every time an interrupt is triggered by my PIR, the voltage on my GPIO pin number 23, that is the pin number to which my CFL is my relay is connected to, is triggered, and the CFL glows. So if you are implementing this circuit by yourself, the first thing to do is always place the BeagleBone on the ESD bag, and also make sure that the power rating of the CFL which you are going to connect to does not exceed that of the relay. Otherwise it may damage your relay and also sometimes your BeagleBone. So yeah, that's about it. The next part will show you a live demo of this application at work. Evening guys, this is a demo of my application at work. So you can see I have my Android phone running the Outwit app right here, and right next to it I have my BeagleBone, and you can see that I've connected my PIR and I've turned it the opposite way so it doesn't detect my presence and sound the alarm. Next to the Android phone I have the CFL. You can see that the CFL is currently switched off. So anyway, let's get started, and I'll move my hand in front of the PIR and then you yourself can see what happens. So right now let me just move my hand. Yeah, and you can see that on my Android phone an alarm has sounded. It gives you the time and date. The time and date may not be the same as that on my Android phone because my BeagleBone is actually the date on my BeagleBone is not synchronized yet. And you can also see that the CFL is switched on. And if you come back to my Android phone, I can simply click on remote and go to external peripheral control and say I want to switch it off. And currently I've connected it to pin number 49. I've connected it to pin number 23, that is actually pin number 49 according to the naming conventions on the BeagleBone. So I can just say submit and you can see that it's turned off. So I can actually communicate to the BeagleBone from my Android phone. You can also blink the onboard LEDs, and you can attach any peripheral that you want to. It can be a water pump, it can be a motor. Creativity is the limit. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.